Welcome to the show where we serve the hundreds and hundreds of listeners with weekly wrestling talk. We talk about mainly Raw and SmackDown with the WWE. I am Harry. We don't do any long intros. Next to me is Tyson.
Let me talk to you.
Let's go ahead and get into Monday Night Raw. You watched it, right? I'm not going to be talking alone.
I did watch it.
All right, so they started out with the SummerSlam recap thingy, of course, because it is the Raw after SummerSlam, and then right off the bat we get Cody Rhodes, and the one thing I noticed right off the bat is the crowd doesn't seem to be singing as enthusiastically to his song this time.
I didn't get that. I thought they were still sing along.
They did at first, but then I don't know. I don't know if like WWE drowned it out, but it just kind of seemed like they started like the first, because it seemed like they've been singing the whole song.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me.
It is possible that maybe they don't know the lyrics. Like, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to download the lyrics before you go to the show. Oh, I got to go to Raw next week. I got to start memorizing these lyrics for when Cody comes out.
Well, you never know. They're not making signs anymore, so they got to be doing something.
They actually are starting to make signs again. They're popping up.
Every now and then. Well, they take them away now, too, so you can't make like Roman has a small dick.
Yeah, you can't come in there acting stupid, but you make it a sign, they'll let you have it.
They did whoa, so there was that. They were very enthusiastic with the woes, so it's not like they were dead. I just noticed that they didn't sing.
Well, they were warming up because there was going to be a lot of woes this night.
Yeah, that's true, and we'll get to that. So Cody says that he had the privilege, honor, and misery of facing Brock Lesnar, and he actually said he's shocked that Brock's wanted to shake his hand afterwards, which apparently that was legit. Like Brock just decided on his private jet to SummerSlam, you know what? I think I'm going to take my gloves off and shake Cody's hand, touch foreheads.
Yep, that was Brock being Brock. Apparently,
So that's pretty interesting. I don't know if there's too much to read into that or not, but I thought that was a cool moment. Especially like you hear all the reports that Brock's a dick and antisocial and stuff. So for him to do that to Cody Rhodes, just decide to do it, Stardust. He did it to Stardust.
yeah, apparently that was him saying, "You're the guy. You're the next guy."
And
I don't know why Cody needed that kind of a rub, but he got it.
I mean, that's a hell of a rub, though. If Cody was gonna benefit from any rub, aside from beating Roman, I think Brock's handshake would do it.
Yeah.
And even Cody's mama said that Brock acknowledged him.
And we get our first teaser for the next chapter of Cody.
Yeah, because he said it in such a way, and then of course the crowd caught on to it and they were cheering. And he even said, like, you know what? I'm so good right now, or I feel so good right now that I think I can beat anybody.
Well, apparently, we didn't point it out on the SummerSlam stream that we did last week. If you missed it, go back and watch it and hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button.
That's all 300 and whatever of you, because I never watched that.
Well, apparently, what we missed was Cody. He mouthed after the match. He mouthed like it's time to finish the story or something like that.
Oh,
so the road to Roman is in place now.
Yeah, I seem to remember that. I just never. I mean, I didn't think that was worth talking about, but clearly because we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, but yeah, he did it, and Now he said that Brock acknowledged him, so we are on the road to Roman.
Yes. And Cody's mama said that Brock acknowledged him. He feels like he can beat anybody. So guess what? Seth Rollins comes out and we get the Battle of the Woes again. Because remember, when Seth won the World Heavyweight Championship the first time, Cody challenged Seth Rollins. That was the first Battle of the Woes. Now we get it in full force. This time they're singing along to the lyrics. The crowd is Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
So I think Seth's big yellow boots are stupid. I think his glasses are stupid. He looks like a fucking Powerpuff Girl.
Apparently, those are. Remember a couple months ago he wore the big red boots.
Yeah,
Well, those are the predecessor to that. The big yellow boots, and they're Crocs. I
they're
don't know.
awful.
They're hot on the street. They're drip as the as the kids say nowadays. They're the drip
So I did.
or
There
their
was.
heat.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's probably better that didn't come out.
So naturally, Seth does his thing where he milks where the crowd woes past the point where it's cool. And I was just thinking it would be really funny if Cody got on the turnbuckle and did his little woe his little woe arm flap thing,
Oh yeah.
and got the crowd to woe. And then Seth Rollins got on the opposite turnbuckle and he did his little woe pose, and then they had a little woe off.
That would be funny.
It'd be annoying as fuck after about like 20 seconds, but it'd be hilarious. Those first 19 seconds would be the funniest shit on TV.
We need to get it a whoa off.
Yes. So Seth says to Cody that, just like I said, he was the first one to challenge Seth when he won his belt. So now he's returning the favor. And he says, if you think that you can beat anybody, let's put that to the test. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm having technical difficulties here. My microphone, I'm talking, my microphone is just like falling.
Uh
And
oh.
instead of me noticing that it's falling, I'm just like squatting. And I realize that I'm almost on the floor.
You got to keep going.
Yeah. Show must go on. Sorry about that, folks. So yeah, we're starting off with Seth and Cody, and then we get the Judgment Day. And Cole just said that they ruined the moment, and I think he's trolling me. I really think he's trolling me. So the Judgment Day, they said they run things. Priest said some Spanish. The crowd booed over Dominic. Finn Balor came out of nowhere to attack Rollins. Priest and Mysterio attack Rhodes. Sami Zayn comes out to help. And guess what? We're going to get a tag team match at the main event between the Judgment Day, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes. I didn't see that coming.
Where have we seen that before? I don't know. Every week of Raw.
Since fucking WrestleMania. I think before WrestleMania. No, at least Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were messing with the Usos, but
yeah,
the Judgment Day were still like fucking up the main event. I feel maybe they weren't quite the main event, but they were prominent, and I'm just so sick of them. They're not going away either. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're just getting started.
Like I like Dominic. I'm starting to sweeten on Mysterio, but Finn, I feel like kind of like McIntyre. Like I feel like I've just seen what he can do, and it's just okay. Priest is. I want to like Priest. I really do. It's just he. I don't know. We can move on him.
Yeah, best you move on there. If you're going where I think you're going, yeah, go ahead, move on.
So they scrum. Cody hits a cutter on Mysterio. Everybody attacks Finn. Cody did his gold dust punch, which it kind of dawned on me when he's wearing his suit and shit. Like, it doesn't quite make sense that you would just do a gold dust punch.
Yeah.
You'd be ruining that suit. I feel. So then Cody takes it upon himself to issue a challenge to the Judgment Day, which they accept. And Rollins ain't happy about that. So we end the segment with Cody and Rollins arguing. So we get the can they coexist, which of course we got to have that. They can't just be they were challenging each other as gentlemen. They can't fucking team up as gentlemen for one night.
Well, it's a Vince McMahon special, even though everybody would say this was a Triple H show. That's what
Why is
everybody
that?
would say.
Oh, because it was good.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of Triple H isms in it, mainly storylines, and not just random thrown together matches. And then
Well,
there was great wrestling 5-star bangers, which there wasn't like an actual 5-star banger, but like the first match, that was pretty much NXT Black and Gold right there. You get Zoe Stark and Shayna wrestling 10-minute match. So yeah, there's a lot of Triple H isms on the
I,
show.
well, I think there was a little bit of both because yeah, there were storylines, but there was a lot of shit just thrown together.
Mainly, it was the because they
Shinsuke,
got
Shinsuke
extra
Nakamura,
wrestling time.
Shinsuke. Oh, we're
Oh,
back to
there you
normal.
go. That's another Triple H.
So I don't know, but we'll get to it all. So after the Cody segment, did you have anything else to add there?
Nope. Rinse and repeat main event.
It was nice, of course, getting Cody. I don't like the fact that he's getting mixed up in this fucking Judgment Day, Groundhog's Day thing that we're doing now. So I don't know where you go from Brock Lesnar, but I hope he goes somewhere that's not the Judgment Day.
Well, the report came out of SummerSlam is they don't know what to do with Cody.
Of
So,
course not.
and it showed.
God damn it. Well, hopefully Cody has something. God, I hope Cody has something. Don't let
Yeah, I'm
him
sure
just.
he'll have something. There was a name we talked about, a couple names that he can go to next, but I got a name for you that no one's talking about.
What's that?
The rated R superstar Edge.
How
He can
about
do a
this?
thing with Edge.
Um, sure, we'll get to Edge. They just signed Nick Aldis.
Yes, and apparently he was doing the backstage producing thing during SummerSlam.
I think Nick Aldis has more legs and would be a lot better, considering that they work together. Well, I would imagine that Edge and Cody work together at some point too, but they had
I
that
think they
great
have.
they had that great run in NWA and Ring of Honor, or not.
True.
Yeah, I think it was Ring of Honor too, but AEW as well. They could basically do the rematch of the first. What was it? What was the AEW's big thing? All
All
in.
in.
Yeah, think about that. They could do it better.
The only problem with it is no one really knows who Nick Aldis is. This crowd doesn't know who that is.
You don't have to though. If you're a wrestling fan, because I didn't know who Nick Aldis was until I started watching NWA on the YouTube shit that they do. Because I think that's the I think that's the only way you can watch them is through their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Um, And the first time I saw Nick Aldis was on there. And I think he's great. I know he was Magnus at some point in TNA. Completely different. He was a joke in TNA. Like in NWA, he carries himself like a fucking Ric Flair. He wears the suit. He holds his head up high. When he had the NWA championship, he talked about it with respect. He went out of his way. I think he was the last interview that Harley Race did.
Yep. 10 pounds of gold.
So, I mean,
was the thing he did.
If you're a wrestling fan, and at WWE, they've shown that they can do wrestling. Gunther, Brock Lesnar, Cody Brock. So if you want, if you really want to put something into Cody, I think that would be the way to go. Edge would just be rinse and repeat. It would just be a thrown together thing. Nick Aldis, he's coming back. Like, I came back specifically to find you, Cody Rhodes. The last time I saw you, I was looking up at the lights and wherever the fuck were they in Las Vegas? In Las Vegas, it's some fucking low rent promotion. Some fucking piece of shit died promotion in some high school gym.
By the way, speaking of which, did you see the
run by some sand? Hey, don't say.
Did you see the Cody doc yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Well, I was just gonna say there's this 3-hour or 2-hour documentary for Cody Rhodes on the Peacock Network. If you want to go see it, you can sign up for Peacock. It's $9.99 a month, and you get other shows like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is now a docuseries, a drama, and there's new movies like Cocaine Bear and Mario. You can see the new Mario. That's not sponsored.
Man, you really love
sign up
pimping
for
that Cocaine Bear.
That's just one of the things. Oh, you can see Megan too. That was a weird movie.
Was that the doll movie?
Yeah, the AI chick.
Yeah, that was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
that was good shit. Megan all day long. Do the unrated version?
Yeah,
the rated version sucks,
and she's killing kids and shit. But yeah, not sponsored. But there you go. Like we gotta put that out there that is not sponsored. But the Cody documentary, this whole hour and a half, 2-hour documentary, the one takeaway was when they were talking about Cody Rhodes, the decision he made to come back to WWE from AEW, and then you got Triple H sitting there. He said, "Well, he didn't want to." He didn't want to win a world title in a secondary promotion. He wanted to win it in the WWE and get the WWE title. So everybody's like, oh, he called AEW a secondary promotion. Well, first of all, what else was he supposed to call it? But Tony Khan responded and he said,
of course he did.
Oh, we won't be a secondary promotion at All In. Because apparently they're so All In, they're close to 70,000 get sold.
Yeah, he said either he was number one in some various markets. Like, we're number one in Chattanooga, Tennessee, so fuck you, Vince. And yeah, he didn't say Chattanooga, but can you imagine though? Like, think about all the things that have been said about Vince McMahon. Can you imagine him just going on Twitter? No, that's not true. Actually.
Yeah, Tony Khan needs to stay off Twitter. But
he's a fucking pussy.
It's good that
he's a thin-skinned pussy.
He doesn't take shit. I'll say that. You know, they always tell you, oh, you got to be the bigger person and not say shit. Oh no, come at me. I'm gonna come right back at you.
He doesn't take shit behind a keyboard, but how is he? I mean, to me, it seems like he's taking shit with the fucking lack of talent he's overpaying on his roster.
They're actually turning it around.
Really? I watched the bits of Collision. They made CM Punk unentertaining.
Okay. But
He
yeah,
did.
I'm gonna jump back to
What? No, he did a promo, and he was just very wooden, and it felt like he was usually with a CM Punk promo. It feels like he's talking. It feels like that's what CM Punk wants to say, regardless of what the angle is or whatever. Like that's what he wants to say about the angle. It's not what somebody wrote for him. And then he's delivering this promo, and it's just very wooden, and it felt rehearsed. I mean, maybe he's still walking on eggshells because of the whole brawl thing. Maybe that's what it is.
obviously.
But I don't know. Comment below if you want to hear more AEW stuff from us.
Not from you.
Maybe not from me.
Hey, I'll tell you, my AEW presence on X or Twitter, whatever it is now,
Yeah.
a little bit there.
Why can't I give my opinion on AEW?
Oh, I mean, it's free country. You can do whatever you want.
If it's
It's a free
good,
channel.
you keep telling me how good it is. Why can't you stand by your words?
Well, it's good for me, not for you.
Because it's just
There's
it's a whole
things.
bunch of shit
I
and
said
Fruit Loops.
I said it's getting better.
Well, from what I saw, it just looked like a whole bunch of stuff.
I mean, you still got your Action Andretti's and your Darby Allens and Danny Garcia. I mean,
And that's okay. I don't mind that. That's what made WCW so great. You had the people that you never really saw or heard of. They were wrestling, the longer matches. Like the meat and potatoes was at the end with Hulk Hogan doing his, 30-minute spiels. Let me tell you something, brother.
well, still, you got. I mean,
But the real gold was, this. Like I didn't know who Rey Mysterio and fucking Eddie Guerrero was before WCW. But then they started doing those 20-minute matches at the beginning. I'm not saying Andretti's among that, but I mean that's how you find those.
well, I'm saying you got guys like him,
Okay, and
like your
Orange
flip flop
Cassidy
Nick Wright or Nick Wayne, whatever the hell his name is. Oh, there's
wasn't
this new kid, Nick Wayne, and he's supposed to be the next big thing. And what does he do? He's coming in and doing flip flops. It's like, oh, okay, another one of those. Like,
wasn't
anyway,
he supposed to be Kurt Angle? Isn't everybody just compared to Kurt Angle now?
no, this kid is compared to Will Ospreay. That
Oh,
is
I know Will
you're thinking
Ospreay,
of Gable
Gable
Stevenson.
Stevenson. No, I thought he was compared to Angle too, but then he just turned out to be a flippity flopper. Braun Strowman would love him.
Yeah.
All right, back to WWE. Again, comment below if you want to hear more AEW stuff from us.
Oh, yeah, let me put a pin on the thought.
Oh God. Okay.
We go with Edge. I think Edge and Cody, two of the best storytellers in wrestling right now. They can make a story out of it. They can do something.
Yeah.
Like even Edge, if we skip a little bit forward to SmackDown, just a random match he called out Sheamus, and he made a story out of it.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, they could make a story out of it, but it would just be I don't know. Knowing them, I think WWE is best when they have the organic stories. When they try to make their own story, it's not so good. Like you have LA Knight and the Miz feuding because LA Knight took pictures. That type of shit. Whereas again, you have Nick Aldis coming in, great wrestler, great look. He doesn't look like a joke. They have a legit beef. They have history. That's more important. The last time, I think they're 1-1. So the rubber match could be Fastlane, Royal Rumble, whatever.
I don't know. I
But
think you're
maybe
off
not
there.
Royal Rumble, but the one before Royal Rumble.
Survivor Series.
Yeah.
And also, here's another thing about that little thing. Nick Aldis, he comes into the WWE, and then he goes into this. First of all, Cody should not be losing again until WrestleMania. And then, like going into that match, he shouldn't lose again. So you bring Nick Aldis in, that's his first feud. Cody's going to have to win that. So
Yeah.
now you're bringing him in to lose his first feud.
It would still be, well, no, it'd be a premier feud. And if they do like a 3-round, because if they started at Fastlane or whatever, or Payback's the next one. If they started at Payback and then kind of do what they did with Brock, just kind of stretch it out a little bit. They don't necessarily have to do 2, or 3 matches, but they could do 2. I think 2 would be great, actually. Cody can win them both.
Okay.
It would still be a main event feud. I don't think Nick Aldis would look any worse losing to Cody Rhodes in a main event feud, especially if he looked good. Like if Cody just went in there and just did 3 Cody cutters and kissed his mom and went home, that'd be one thing. But if they had really good matches like we did with Brock, Aldis would be fine. Now, the trick is, what would they do with Aldis after that? Maybe they could do something with Gunther. Or maybe Gunther would do something with Cody. I mean...
Well, it can't do that either.
Why not?
Because Cody can't lose.
Oh.
So
he can lose to the ring general.
Cody can't lose. Gunther, he can't really lose either, because there's something he's building towards.
True.
And Seth Rollins is holding it right now.
Well, I don't know if he'll do the Ultimate Warrior thing. I think he'll lose it eventually, and then move on to the main event.
Well, we do have this thing coming up in January, the Royal Rumble.
True.
So obviously he's one of the lead candidates to win.
I don't think he will, unfortunately. I think everybody will gang up on him like they did with Omos. They'll just see that he's just too great for them.
Well, they did make that big thing and they keep making about his Royal Rumble appearance. He lasted 40 minutes, went from opening to the last person eliminated.
Yep.
They keep making a big stink about that, which they should, but
they should. It's a good feat.
Maybe he comes back and closes the deal. But now, if we're talking about Royal Rumble, now you got people like LA Knight. He's getting hot. He might get so hot that he wins the Royal Rumble. Cody, he's obviously going towards Roman. He might win the Royal Rumble. They got a lot of ways they can go for the Royal Rumble.
I just think it's going to be Cody.
He's going to go back to back.
Yeah, probably.
Should be interesting to see. Let us know in the comments below who your Royal Rumble early pick is. You can change it, of course. We're probably going to change it a million times before the Royal Rumble.
And just to put a pin on it, finally, I think Edge and Cody would have a good match, to your credit. I just think the feud would be better and the angle would be better with all this.
Okay.
All right, so then we get Ricochet backstage. 30 minutes on Cody Rhodes. Nice. Ricochet backstage. So Ricochet's bitching about Logan Paul's brass knuckles. Adam Pearce is there, and he wants to know what Adam Pearce is going to do about it. Like he can do anything. And sure enough, Pearce said, "I'm sorry, I really am, but the match is final. I can't reverse the decision for you. But what I can do is give you an opportunity." And then he brings 3 other losers in. And Ricochet's looking around confused. He goes, "In fact, you all get an opportunity." And we learned that opportunity is a fatal 4-way for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship. And our contestants are Ricochet, please God no. Matt Riddle, which personally I would want to watch Matt Riddle and Gunther wrestle every fucking day of the week, but it's too soon in terms of, what we're doing here. We have Chad Gable, which makes the most sense because of what happened last week. Remember that Gunther said he would beat Chad Gable within 5 minutes. He couldn't do it. So Gable got the visual win over Gunther, but Gunther ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Tommaso Ciampa, which doesn't make sense at all. He's coming in cold, but I'd watch it. I know they wrestled in NXT. I assume that they had a good feud. Gunther's usually pretty solid.
Yep.
So that brings us to our Fatal 4-Way, which was, again, Gable, Ciampa, Riddle, and Logan Paul's first win. So right off the bat, what?
Second one.
Second one. Oh, shit. God damn it. I keep forgetting about The Miz.
Let's not let luck get in the way of a good joke.
The Miz is so fucking irrelevant that I forget when he loses. Sorry, Miz. Anyway. So right off the bat, I noticed that Riddle's only wearing enough shorts to cover his dick. So that was fun. And Maxine and Otis come out with Gable for some reason. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why he needs an entourage for a Fatal 4-Way, especially when everybody else didn't come out with anybody.
I think they were just pumping him up for the entrance. I don't know. And it's worth noting we are in Minnesota.
Yeah. So it was a Fatal 4-Way. I don't know what we can what we can go on about. There's a couple cool moments. The crowd cheered for Gable, and then he did his "thank you," which that was a cool little moment because obviously it wasn't planned. And then Riddle and Gable, they had a nice little sequence where they just did nothing but mat wrestle. It was fucking great. I would want to see more of that. I started skipping it when they did the Tower Power spot.
Another ridiculous spot, yeah.
Yeah. And I saw it coming too. Like as soon as the first two got on the ropes, I'm like, oh, here it comes.
Yeah.
So Gable does a deadlift German suplex to Ricochet. I'm sorry, to Matt Riddle. But Ricochet does his finish on Riddle as he's coming down. So then Gable, he goes, okay, well, he grabs Ricochet. He does the same thing. He does a little rolling deadlift German suplex to him. But then Ciampa comes out of nowhere and hits his finish. So Gable, undeterred, he grabs Ciampa, does a little rolling deadlift German suplex, and he pins Ciampa for the win. I hated the finish. I thought that was really hokey. In fact, it was stupid.
Well, not only that, he finished Ciampa off of Chaos Theory, which is not his finisher. So, are they trying to make that his finisher now? Because it just looks so visually appealing.
Probably. I mean, I like it. I don't mind a German suplex being somebody's finisher. That's awesome.
Well, I was looking forward to him hitting Chaos Theory on Gunther, but if it's his finisher, he's not going to hit it.
We'll see. Because they kick out of finishers now, so it doesn't really matter.
Maybe that'll be the false finish.
Probably. What I do know is the Gable and Gunther is going to be fucking awesome. They're not going to have that 5-minute time limit. They're just going to wrestle. Gunther, I think, is best when he wrestles a smaller guy. a smaller guy that knows how to wrestle,
Yeah.
like Brittle. So this should be like a fucking automatic 21-star match. This might be the match of the year. It really, I think it'll be great. Although I was wrong about Baszler and Rousey, so. So later on, Kaiser tries to slide into Maxine's DMs in the back, and Maxine ends up slapping Kaiser, which doesn't deter him. He still tries to hit on her until Otis comes and chases Kaiser off. And it's not really noteworthy or nothing really happened, but as Kaiser's walking away, the look on his face, the look of pain, and the way he sells the slap, I love Kaiser. Kaiser is great. Did you happen to catch that?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, go back and watch it. As he turns around, his face just changed because she slaps him and he's still hitting on her, and they set up that match with Otis. Spoiler, Otis and Kaiser are wrestling later. As Kaiser, your stuff's like really loud, dude.
My stuff?
Yeah.
Oh. Let me fix that. Hold on. Talk to him.
Oh man, I don't. So yeah, as Kaiser's, he's talking shit to Otis, and he's hitting on Maxine. He goes to turn away, and his face just changes to this look of just pure agony, and it's from the slap that Maxine gave him like just a few seconds earlier.
Okay.
So it was great. It was a great little bit of it's just awesome. Mwah, chef's kiss. So yeah, we get Otis and Kaiser. They're going to wrestle later. Anything to add?
No, Kaiser has good taste. I'll just say that.
Sure. So later next in the back, we get Cody, Sammy, and Seth Rollins. Cody and Rollins are still arguing. Cody just wants everybody, or I'm not. Sammy just wants everybody to get along. He goes, "We have a chance to do something." I don't know what that something is. Like, it's not for titles. It's not for. I don't know. There's no stakes, so I don't know what that something is. This is like the 20th time they've wrestled, so I just thought I'd throw that out there. Then he says we've been dealing with them for months, and they have a chance to end the Judgment Day once and for all, which will be true until next Monday because they'll wrestle again next Monday.
Yeah, when he said that, I was like, yeah, right.
Well, he says the same shit. He's like, we've been dealing with them for months. We gotta get them.
Which is true. They have.
If you pay, like, Sammy said the same shit. Ripley's in the Judgment Day, they just said the same shit. They just say the same shit over and over and over again.
Well, they have to do this week to week. I don't.
That's true.
It's hard to come up with new stuff every week saying the same thing.
Well, they have writers. What are you paying these writers for if you can't? If the only thing that they can say is the same shit week in and week out, maybe you don't have. Was it 8 hours of wrestling? 5 hours. 5 hours of wrestling.
Something like that, yeah.
If you can't maintain that shit, anyway. Get off my. So eventually, Cody and Seth they agree. Like, you know what? You're right. We got bigger fish to fry. Let's just put everything aside. I don't know why we're fighting in to begin with because we weren't fighting when we started talking. We were respectfully talking. So let's just fucking shake hands. Let's beat the Judgment Day's ass. And then they just go their separate ways. And Sammy doesn't look too sure that they're gonna be able to coexist. Anything to add?
Nope.
All right. So continuing with our backstage journey, we get the Miz. Miz is walking. I guess he's late for an appointment, or he's ready for some sort of appointment, and he's told by a lady to just wait. Miz wants to know why. He doesn't wait for nobody. And the camera pans to this camera making the weirdest camera sounds I've ever heard. And LA Knight is all lubed up and getting his pictures taken. And Miz is pissed off about that. That's it. Anything to add?
No.
Okay. Cool.
I'll talk about it when we get to the segment.
All right. All right. Next up, we get Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bronson Reed again. I feel like this is like the 5th time that they've wrestled. So the crowd, they get to woe some more with Shinsuke's music. The whoa, I don't even know what the fuck his song sounds like.
Whoa! Oh, wait.
Yeah,
I
see?
messed up. No, wait. Whoa! Oh! There you go. Oh!
So apparently Shinsuke has a score to settle, and like I thought he lost already to Reed, so I don't know.
They've been going on this for so long. I don't even know who's up on the scorecard.
Yeah, because I remember when he said, "Biden, I said I'm tired of everyone getting involved in my business." Ha!
Well, that was the win by DQ because Ciampa interfered.
Right. Well, I don't know. I just know I don't care about this match at all. And Nakamura, he hit 2 Boomaye knee strikes for the win. Meh.
Well, the one thing about this match, Wade Barrett is now on commentary with Michael Cole. First of all, they did a good job, much
Yeah.
better than Kevin Patrick. And
Cover for me.
yes, and if you are a fan of Black and Gold, you watched NXT back in the day, you know the one thing Wade Barrett has is the call of the tsunami. They kind of teased it through this match, and we are looking forward to the one time when Wade Barrett gets to say tsunami. Pretty much that's how he says it. And I thought we were going to get that tonight, but we did not. So I am looking forward to that. Um, I think this was Reed's first loss singles match. Uh, yeah, he's lost fatal. He has lost, but he's not lost like one-on-one singles match, I believe, since he's come back. So this is also something from Shinsuke, and it was a surprise because Shinsuke, we didn't think he was going to win that, but he did. And I will move on to the next segment since we're taking a little break here. And by the way, while we got a little bit of time, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you haven't already as well. Check us out on all of our social medias. That is X, if you have that, formerly known as Twitter. Maybe I still call it Twitter. Threads. We've sent out like one thread, so that's not a good example. We're also on TikTok. We're also on Spotify if audio only is your thing. The show podcast on all of those platforms. And yeah, that is I got
I'm just seeing how long you.
well, I was feeling so I can get to the spot where you left off.
Well, we got Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark. I think that's where I left off. I heard you wrap up Bronson Reed, and and Shinsuke.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you were there that long?
Yeah. You were doing fine. You were doing fine. So Becky Lynch screamed. Zoe talked about how awesome she is. Then she said she's the baddest in the entire locker room. And then Baszler comes out. And they have a banger of a match. Just the fucking... Baszler has this... Oh, wait, no. They didn't have the match yet. But she does have a black eye.
They were about to have a match.
Yeah, they're about to have a match. Yeah, so she says, you should see how Ronda looks. Because they... Fuck, I'm off. Hold on. So Baszler comes out. Baszler has a black eye. They point to the fact that she has a black eye. And then she goes, well, you should see how Ronda looks. And she says, but wait, you can't do that because I drove her out of the WWE. And that received a standing ovation.
And a thank you, Shayna chant.
Yes. And what do you think?
It was faint, but that's what we already talked about. Shayna, Ronda was on her way out. So she puts over her good friend, Shayna. Now, do they keep it going is the question.
Good deal. Good deal. I didn't get any of that. What did you say?
I was just saying, do they keep this momentum going with Shayna? That's the question.
They should, man. After that match. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she was definitely battered.
Yeah. So, did you see the Finn Balor and JD McGraw backstage segment before the match?
Yes.
So Priest wants to talk to Finn alone, and he goes, no. JD's been with me for 20 years. Whatever you have to say, you could say with him. Which, Finn's a little bitch. Don't you think?
Why?
It's like if he doesn't win, then nobody can win. Like, motherfucker, you lost to Seth Rollins for three consecutive times. It's over. Let Priest have his moment. That was the thing. That was the little agreement. First, let me have my shot. You had your shot. You lost. But you lost. You're going to be a little whiny bitch about it?
Yep.
So Priest and Finn, they bitch about SummerSlam. And then Ripley tells them to act like men again, which that she always says that. You need to stop acting like boys and start acting like men. It's just redundant. Then JD McGuire chimes in and says that Priest needs to get rid of the Money in the Bank briefcase because it's driving him apart. And Priest says it for me. What? What the fuck did you just say? What did I don't know. It was confusing.
Oh, you want me to recap it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So Priest, he comes out. He says, "Hey, Finn, I gotta talk to you. I've known this guy for 20 years. Whatever you say to me, you can say to him."
Are you recapping what I just recapped?
I said, "You want me to? You want me to do it?"
I just recapped it.
You said you didn't get it. I gotta fill in the.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I gotta do the whole story.
My bad. Go ahead.
I'm not gonna do like word for word.
Recap it. My bad. Go ahead. Paint your picture.
So, Priest and Finn, they're having a back and forth. He's like, "You cost me the match at SummerSlam." Priest is like, "Everybody knows why I was out there. I was out there to help you." And Finn says, "Were you out there to help me or out there to cost me the match?" That's when Rhea comes in, and she says,
"Yeah, they bitch about SummerSlam."
Before Rhea comes in, Priest says, "You're starting to crowd me," because Finn was like up in his face.
They're still bitching about SummerSlam.
Yes, Finn says the briefcase is crowding us both. Now in comes Rhea. She says, "Put this aside. We need to get back to running Raw." And then
Again,
JD McDonough from out of frame,
JD McDougal.
he says, "I know it's not my place to speak, but if you ask me, that briefcase is getting in between the both of you. Perhaps you should get rid of it."
You sound like the guy from Pet Cemetery. You don't sound like
That road, y'all want to go down that road?
that old. That briefcase. You don't want that briefcase.
So yeah, that was pretty much the recap. And then Priest is like, Why is he even talking?"
Okay.
Because he's butting his nose into Judgment Day business, which I thought was a well done. That whole segment was well done.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It's the same shit that they did before Balor had his feud with Rollins. They're just picking up where they left off. That we've seen this. Finn had his little shit fit and he threw his tantrum. Him and Priest got into it. Then they had an agreement that Rollins would get his shot with, or I'm sorry, that Finn would get his shot with Rollins first. They did that. So now they need to move on. But instead, they're going backwards. They're even bringing JD McGuire in there.
Yeah, so we're getting a Judgment Day split, it looks like. And then
Again,
where does Rhea and Dom go? Do they go with Finn or do they go with Priest? Which obviously they would go with Priest. They're closer to him.
I would say Priest because it sounds like Finn and JD McTasty are going to have a little alliance. Oh, we're Irish.
I trained this guy. I know him 20 years.
And then they're going to change their theme music. We're Finn and JD. We like to fight.
Well, I will say though, JD for once was actually interesting to me because it's so creepy how he's like just butting in and like perhaps you should get rid of that briefcase.
No, I felt like Priest felt like, what the fuck? Why is he even talking? where, where,
I know
where
that
have you
was the beauty
been?
of it.
Who are you?
That was the beauty of it. It's like it's like when two friends are arguing and then you get the person who shouldn't even be hearing the argument, then they butt in. It's like what I got the perfect. It's you remember back in high school and then the Tongans, they were yelling at you, and it happened to me once. They're yelling at me or they're talking shit, and then Purdue, for some reason, he butts in and tries to say something, and it's like you better shut your fucking ass up.
I ain't gonna be able to whoop any of these guys, but I know I can take you.
Yeah, you ain't saying shit. It's like that kind of moment.
No, I just, yeah, I don't like it because it's just, I don't know. They're going backwards.
Okay.
So then we get Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, right?
Yes.
Okay. This was awesome. Everything about this fucking match was awesome. This was like, you said there's no 5-star bangers this week. I don't know, man. This was fucking good. This was fucking great. So naturally, Shayna kicks Zoe's ass like right at the beginning, but then Zoe just starts targeting Shayna's injured eye, and that's like the whole story throughout the match. Like anytime Shayna would get an advantage, Zoe would just work that eye. Zoe would slow Shayna down with little like wrestling. They they call them rest holds, but she use fucking wrestling holds. And there's one thing she did. Unfortunately, it was during a commercial break. I was watching a version where they continued during the commercial break. I guess satellite is what they call it. I don't know. But Zoe did this little spinning, twirly, twisty thing, launching over the top rope. It was great. Both of them were great. Like Shayna's facial expressions, the messed up hair with the fucking black eye, here's just puffy face. Just you could see like she's still hurting from her match with Ronda, even though it wasn't like a long match. It was still a physical match, and she's showing it. She's
Right.
exhausted. Zoe, she looks like the baddest in the locker room too. This is a fucking war. Like Shayna didn't shit on Zoe. Zoe didn't shit on Shayna. They both fucking like they both had their shit in. And I thought the visuals were great. I thought Zoe's going to be a star. Shayna and Zoe, they should be stars right now. And the best part about Shayna, she didn't have that fucking stupid makeup on. She didn't look like a
Well,
goddamn
I don't think she
cartoon
could.
character. Good. She looks so much better and more believable without that stupid makeup. The one drawback though was Becky, because they kept like cutting to her and she had lemonade and she was cheering and I like that. I'm going to use that. No, you can't do that, Becky. Shut the fuck up.
Well, as the story goes with the lemonade, as I thought it would be brought up, it was going to have to be addressed. So, a few weeks back, well, no, the day of SummerSlam, that Saturday, Becky, she posted a picture on her Instagram of her cutting up lemons, and she was like holding a lemon. That was the picture she had on Instagram. And during the post media scrum that that WWE did steal from AEW, by the way,
We talked
Triple
about
H was asked about the matches getting pulled and representation of women, and Triple H gave this answer about, to him it's not about a man or a woman match getting pulled. It was just two matches getting pulled. First of all, SummerSlam was already 4 hours. If we had two more matches, we'd still be here right now watching SummerSlam. And
not to mention Lynch and Trish Stratus. They belong on Raw.
well, people, you would think this is like Rock versus Hulk Hogan,
Right.
like with how people are crying over this match.
I
Like,
mean, if they built it correctly, they could do like Zoe and Becky Lynch. That could be a
like, are people
pay-per-view, but
really disinvested in this feud?
right. Like nobody gives a shit about Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch. Except Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. That's it.
Yeah, and the vocal minority. But yeah, so Triple H, he talks about that, and then at the end of that little segment clip, he said, um, not everybody can be on the show. Some people have to take the lemons and make lemonade. So they took that as he was taking a dig at Becky Lynch for posting her little lemons picture.
No.
So that's why Becky Lynch was playing up the lemonade thing.
Mm.
So I don't know where they're going with that. She even did the spritz with the lemonade at the end. It was entertaining for me.
Okay.
But
so I have to pay attention to the stupid whatever socials
well, clearly not.
and
I mean,
media scrum.
I don't think they're going to be. What are we going to get out of this? Becky Lynch versus Triple H with his heart thing on?
No. Stephanie's going to come out of retirement and snap Becky Lynch's neck.
I guess we could do that.
She's gonna say, I've been away training with Ronda Rousey doing MMA stuff. And cue that and it fades from black to Stephanie hitting a punching bag with the ponytail, sweating with the pink little spandex tank top and the black shorts and the gloves.
She's really getting after it.
Yeah, and it throws to clips of her doing judo flips to men that are 3 times her size. Oh, she's a lot better than I thought she'd be. She's a beast.
Yeah.
Shows one of them just running away from her. No, please, no.
And then she does the monster doll running off the rope, running off the stage kick.
she goes, you, and you at once. No, Mrs. Levesque, please. She goes and locks the door. I'm not trapped in here with you. You're trapped in here with me.
Yep.
They could do that. What were we talking about?
Oh,
just Stephanie McMahon doing MMA training.
because of the Becky Lynch.
Oh yeah. So they could do that with Becky after Trish, or with Triple H.
Yeah, but
Triple
that
H
was
should
just
say, "Oh, you want to spit lemons in my ring? I got something for you." And then yeah, yeah, Kia. No. Oh, I can even do things where she does like little, the spinning elbow chop thing. Asuka does it. Yeah, but when she does that, they do like little lion roars. No, I want to see Becky Lynch and, and Stephanie McMahon now. They gotta let me book it. I'd make her look like $1 million. So Shayna wins with a Piper's Pit, and yeah, the one dent is Zoe. I'm sorry, the one dent in the whole match was the Piper's Pit itself, because it didn't look like Zoe was helping very much getting up there. It looked
yeah,
like she
she
was
missed
just
time
dead
to
weight.
jump or something.
Yeah. And also Becky Lynch.
Coined the world's baddest slam is what they call that name now. That is the new name of the move.
Is that the new name?
Which was bad timing off that it was a botch.
Right. But I think that was more Zoe than Shayna.
Yeah, the timing was just off. They did it they tried it like 3 times.
And I can imagine lifting somebody with a broken face is not fun. I've had a broken... See, I can speak from experience. I've had a broken face recently, too. That's not fun. You're kind of debilitated.
There you go.
So anything else with Shayna and Zoe?
No, thought it was a good match all around.
It was the match of the week.
The brutality of Zoe, yeah.
In fact, I'm putting it on our match of the year list.
Okay.
Yeah. I got it.
Spoilers behind spoilers behind the scenes stuff now.
No. You don't see. You didn't have to elaborate further. They just dropped that little nugget and raise a little bit of interest. We did little Bray Wyatt teases, but no, you want to peel the curtain.
Okay.
Anyway, so we get Shinsuke Nakamura backstage. Byron reveals that Shinsuke requested the interview, and Shinsuke says, "Yeah, Byron, I'm tired of people getting on my way, but tonight I won. And from now on, I carve my own path." And the interview is interrupted by JD McDonald's laying the smackdown on Sami Zayn.
And I don't know what the hell was with his elbow in that little beatdown thing.
Sammy's?
Yeah.
He's legit hurt.
Okay.
He injured his both of the tag champs, which is interesting because ladies get hurt, they strip them right away. But when's the last time we saw Kevin Owens' fat ass? privilege. No, I'm just joking there. Just gonna let me die. What the fuck?
I didn't know what to jump in there with.
God, just let me float. I'm drowning here. So after that, we get Cody versus Kaiser. Kaiser really, really wants Maxine. We find out, which for some reason I always picture Kaiser as like a castrated like eunuch. Just his only mission in life is to service Gunther.
Like, what's he having? What's he having feelings for?
Yeah, like
What having needs for?
I kind of envision him being like a Ken doll with an anus because he has to be like a pleasure bot or something. I don't know. I put a lot of thought into Kaiser now, but the match was nothing. It was it could have been something really special, but they didn't. I don't know. It was what it was. But Gunther kicks Otis in the head, and Kaiser kicks Otis in the head, and Kaiser wins. So Kaiser, he has like a little two match winning streak.
Yep, starting to build some momentum.
So after the match, Imperium beats on Otis, and naturally Gable comes out, and he cleans house, and Gunther sneers at Gable as he's exiting. And this match is going to be. Did I already say it? This match is going to be fucking. This might be the match of the year. This might be it. This might be it. Oh my god, this might be the match of the year.
I was already going to say that it's probably in the early candidate for match of the year, and they haven't even wrestled yet.
I think it's going to be fucking just special. Oh, my nipples are hard.
Hopefully, they give them, a pay-per-view setting, not just a Monday Night Raw match.
Well, maybe the first one on Raw. I don't know.
Well, so as it sees, we are a little bit under 30 days now for Gunther to break the Honky Tonk Man's record.
Okay.
So we got the pay-per-view of Payback, and then like first week or so of September, he breaks the record.
Which I think September 5th or so is the other one.
Yeah, so we get interesting at that point. If the
Yeah.
match happens after he breaks the record, now it's interesting.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. Because after that, man, it's anybody's guess.
Yeah.
Because it's almost a foregone conclusion that he's gonna break Honky Tonks. Dealio.
Yeah. Yeah. So whenever that match takes place, maybe they do something.
They do Payback and Fastlane.
Yeah. But I don't know how you get there because obviously Gunther's going to win and he's going to win clean. So I don't know how you get a rematch out of it. Like, what grounds do you have to try to get a rematch at that point?
The same way Riddle kept getting rematches. Didn't they wrestle like 3 times? I know they wrestled twice, at least. One was at the pay-per-view and one was on Raw.
Yeah. Oh, so just call him out.
Well, I think Gunther continued to beat the shit out of Riddle. I don't think that, or Riddle maybe wrestled Kaiser and Gunther still won at it. I can't remember why they wrestled again or if there was a reason, but they just continued. It was awesome.
I think Riddle came back and then he was like, "Oh, I finally got back up because you always cheat to win," which wasn't true.
True.
And then that's how they got another match out of it. I don't know.
Well, that's also Gunther said, I'm going to embarrass you. I'm looking for someone to embarrass, and I found him.
So yeah, maybe they just Gunther beats him clean the first time. They run it back. Now he'll have the record, and then it is interesting.
Gunther will beat him clean the second time. And Gunther will be the God King. He'll be like Xerxes. Get to the chopper! Yeah?
Okay.
All right, so moving on, we have Cody and Seth Rollins backstage. They're just coming out of the medical area. Presumably, that's where Sammy is. And the lady asks how Sammy is after being attacked by JD McFlurry. And Sammy isn't medically cleared. And that's because, again, he's legit hurt, so they're not going to let him wrestle. In walks out of nowhere, literally, Shinsuke Nakamura. And he offers to take Sammy's place. And Rollins says, hell yeah. Now, before that, when the lady asks about Sammy, Cody and Seth, they start talking at the same time. And Cody's like, you know what? Go ahead. You take this interview. I'll go prepare for the match. So, building trust between the coexistence. But yeah, Shinsuke offered to take Sammy's place, and Seth was all about that shit. Which makes the main event even less appealing to me, unfortunately. It's not that I don't like Shinsuke Nakamura. It's the fact that they've presented him as a joke. Ever since he moved from NXT, he's just been there. He's been like one step above Tozawa.
That's a little far.
I don't know. Well, he did win a championship, didn't he? Or he won King of the Ring. He won
King
something.
of the Ring. He's multi-time champion, Intercontinental.
Okay. He's just, but I don't know. He's just there. He's not like a premier guy. He's not the New Japan and NXT Shinsuke. That guy's dead.
Well, I wasn't familiar with him in New Japan. I knew of him, but I never it's New Japan, so I can only watch it when I watch it.
True. Well, the one time I was into it, it was when Shinsuke was there, and then he left. So then we get The Miz and LA Knight. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do this justice. So I'm going to tap out and respectfully give it to you, Tyson.
Oh. Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
All right. So Miz, he's in the ring, and this is not a Miz TV. This is just Miz in the ring because he's pissed the hell off. And he starts to talk about LA Knight. He says that he's a 20-year, him being Miz, he's a 20-year veteran, and you got all these new crops of people coming in. They're not showing him respect. Did you know LA Knight? He's here. He didn't even shake my hand. He didn't even introduce himself.
He never shook my hand.
Yeah. And this obviously brings out LA Knight because Miz is talking about him. And we have a promo battle between The Miz and LA Knight, which ended up being surprisingly great. So, Miz, he says to LA Knight, he says, he says, you're flashing a flash in the pan, overnight success. In a couple months, people are going to forget about you. Maybe they'll cheer for you now. Maybe they'll cheer for you another couple of months, but they're going to get over you real quick. He even then goes to say that LA Knight is a attitude era fanboy cosplaying in his ring. This is all the
Me,
stuff that
I think you're
Miz.
just an Attitude Era fanboy cosplaying in my ring. They might like you. They might buy your shit. That's what I think of you.
Yeah, and LA Knight, he's like, you don't want to make this personal, but now that you've done all this, okay, I can see you do want to make this personal. The Miz talks about
Which
how,
was great.
yeah, and again, the Miz, he talks about he's been in the WWE for 20 years. The first month he was there, he got kicked out of the locker room. He got pushed aside. He had to carry bags, all the stuff that the Miz usually talks about. And LA Knight has a great comeback to that. And he says, "This is what I've been 20." And then, after that, I made myself bulletproof, untouchable. I became multi-time champion, Grand Slam champion 2 times over. What have you been doing in the last 20 years? LA Knight, he says, what have I been doing in the last 20 years? Now, obviously, he can't say, like, I've been working at TNA, I've been working at NWA, because those are the 2 stints that he's done before.
He can't
Probably
even
more.
say he was the model guy, Dupree.
Yeah. So, what he has to say is, I've been on the outside looking in for the last 20 years, watching WWE bet on the wrong horses, including people like you, including you.
Great line.
Yeah. And he says, what have I been doing for the last 20 years? I've been making myself dangerous.
A
What does that
dangerous man.
Yeah, what does that mean? Well, that means you're safe. Do you want to know why they kicked you out of the locker room? They bring you in for the all the make a wish and stuff. It's because they knew that they can get away with it.
Then you'd sit there and take it. You'd bend
Yeah.
over and spread those cheeks and say, "Yes, sir."
Yeah. So that was another great line. They kicked you out of the locker room because they knew you weren't going to fight back.
But me, nah. Papa don't take no mess.
Yeah. Like they're not kicking me out of the locker room. And um, he says that no matter what they do to him, he's making his own success. And at this point, the Miz, the promo battle is pretty much over here. At this point, the Miz, he takes his jacket, he throws. Oh, by the way, let me back up a little bit. The Miz says to LA Knight, he's not on my level. You're not on my level. LA Knight says, well, I'm looking you dead in the eye. So this ensues a brawl. The Miz throws his jacket at LA Knight. He starts to get the upper hand.
Which was
LA
great.
Knight gets the advantage, hits him with the BFT, blunt force trauma. And at the end of the segment, we have LA Knight shaking the Miz hand as he's unconscious. And that is the way the segment ended.
Do you think we're going to get more Miz versus LA Knight?
Uh, Probably. So, there's the great gatekeepers of WWE. There's The Miz, there's Baron Corbin, and
Who's kicking it or killing it in NXT?
yeah, so The Miz, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler.
Congratulations, Baron Corbin.
Yeah, they're the great gatekeepers. What does that mean? That means that's your first feud. When they want to see if you can get over, so they put LA Knight out there with The Miz because The Miz is one of the better ones on the microphone. Okay, you think you can get over? Let's see if you can hang with The Miz on the mic. And he held his own. Now, you have the people
He did
online.
flub once.
He did when he was talking about the toileters, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but you did have the people online. Oh, you start to get a little bit of success, and then you start to get haters, of course.
Of course.
Oh, why'd the Miz cook him like that? He sent him back to the mid card. He just proved that LA Knight's not ready for the main event. So then that's what the people online were saying.
Well, all LA Knight has to do is what he's doing. He's fine.
Yeah, the success obviously will continue. How high that goes, we will see.
It's up
But
to him.
yeah, I think I think him and the Miz are gonna do a match, and I oddly am interested.
I am too. I don't mind the Miz when he's like the ruthless, the guy that will throw a jacket in your face and then attack you. I love that like sneaky shit. Like he had a match last year where, um, as the guy was doing a pose or something, he hit him in the back of the head when they were doing the ring entrance or the introductions.
Oh yeah,
I think it was for the U.S. title, but yeah, I don't mind this at all.
yeah, it's gonna be great. Oh, there was one other great line from the Miz in this little promo battle. He said, "You take the Miz, you strip away all the success, all the money, my ridiculously hot wife, and what do you got? Oh, and my charisma, and what do you got? L.A. Knight." That was another Miz line there.
Although you don't know who LA Knight's married to if he's married. Just
Uh
saying.
oh, I mean, come on, it ain't Maurice, so he ain't lying there. But
What if he was married to Sonny?
well, see, he ain't lying there. It'd have to be like Attitude Era, Sonny.
Oh, yeah, he ain't married to Maurice. If that's his wife.
I mean, the Miz obviously outkicked his coverage by a lot, so
Yeah, Miz isn't a bad looking dude.
he ain't that good looking.
Well, dudes don't have to. First of all, we can't compare. I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, we're not we're not into that, so we can't say like what is a 10? Like, what's a fuckable guy?
I mean, I can tell you, I
Who?
got a
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
Like,
Give me your sense.
like
Let's make this weird.
you could tell, you could tell Tom Brady is a guy. You
No
could tell
way.
George Clooney in his prime, maybe even still now, I don't know, is a guy. Denzel Washington. Well, basically, my barometer is like who they put on like the sexiest man alive magazines.
Okay.
That's pretty much what I'm pulling off of here.
All right.
What those cosmopolitan articles that I see on my way out of the grocery store tells me.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Miz and LA Knight if they do a thing. So moving on, we got the Viking Raiders versus the New Day. Did you watch this?
Uh, not no,
Nope,
no.
I didn't either. So we get
New Day wins.
yeah, whatever. So we get our main event. The Judgment Day versus Seth Rollins, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cody Rhodes. Now, before the match, No Definition Rodriguez, who is not medically cleared to compete. I want you to keep that in mind. She lays a savage beatdown on Rhea Ripley. Think about it. She can't compete, she can't wrestle, but she can come and run out and then beat Ripley up.
She can fight.
Does that make any sense to you?
She can fight,
She can come on.
and she did get her from behind too. So
Okay.
she had the upper
But
hand.
it didn't mean anything in the long run.
Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't make any sense to me that they're like, oh, she can't compete, but whatever. So Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell also come out to help. So now it's a 3-on-1 beatdown. And the Judgment Day, I see them in the background. They're just standing there in the ring with their hands to their side, just watching Ripley just get savagely assaulted by 3 women.
What are they gonna do? I think
Break it up? something. Get in the middle of it. They don't have to beat. They don't have to beat the shit out of the other women. But there's 3 dudes. They can at least hold 3 women back, especially Noodle Arm Rodriguez.
I think the WWE is playing the "we're not trying to get canceled" game.
It's then don't have them out there, or don't do the segment at that point in time, or have Ripley go out by herself and do whoa, we run this place. There's so many other ways you can do it though, if you're going to do that.
You never been. First of all, tell me you've never been around a chick fight without telling me you've never been around a chick fight. You don't jump in as a guy. You just sit and let them handle it. And then, and she's with a guy, and you just both are there. You don't fight each other. You're like, "What's up, dude?"
If it's a 3-on-1 beatdown, if there's 3 women, especially if because at one point all 3 of them they were having their way with Ripley, and the security wasn't able to stop them, and Judgment Day is just sitting there. The villains who run Raw are just sitting there with their hands to the side. Eventually, Dominic comes. Hey, break it up, guys. Just I don't know. It's stupid. So Ripley eventually fight. Huh? Sorry.
So we went through that last week too. So
Yeah. This was worse, I think. Yeah, this was worse because at least it was Rodriguez and Ripley. I could see, like you said, just sitting in back and letting them handle it. But this was 3 women beating the shit out of your girl, and you're just sitting there. You're not even looking concerned. Anyway, so yeah, Ripley eventually fights him off, and security settles everything down, and the good guys win after Sammy comes out and interferes.
yes, and in this moment we had pretty much all the guy woes in one ring,
and the crowd loved it. Oh,
yes.
yeah, you're right.
So
I
the
was
question is, who has the best woe cadence out of the 4?
Cody.
Cody?
Yeah.
I was thinking, yeah, it's either Cody or Sammy. Because you know with Sammy, there's like different levels. You got to go up and go down and go up. So
Oh,
there's different levels of the woe.
I don't like Sammy's at all.
Oh, like you got to. There's a lot of different levels. Cody's just one. Wow.
Yeah, I like that. Whoa! What time of year? Never fear. I am my father's son. This is my kingdom.
Okay. Ran a little long there. I thought you were gonna
I
stop
got
after
in,
the well.
I got into it. My bad. Needed something for the clips. So Cody and Seth Rollins, they shake hands afterwards. They prove that they can coexist, they can trust each other, and they can work together. It's a happy moment. And everybody's celebrating. They get on the turnbuckles and they're doing their little poses. And then they get down and they embrace again and shake hands. And all of a sudden, Shinsuke kicks Seth Rollins in the face and walks away.
Shinsa Kinshasa to the face. Goodbye, Seth. Out of nowhere.
And it looks like we are heading towards Shinsuke and Seth Rollins. And I personally wouldn't be surprised if this is where Priest cashes in.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I wish I could be more excited about Nakamura and Rollins, but like I said, they haven't presented Shinsuke as a real threat. Like they just gave him a win over Reed. He's been a loser since like he came back. He was the ninja. He won like a couple matches. He's lost them all since, for the most part. I don't know.
They're just trying to build him out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, not even build him. Oh, now you get a title shot.
They're shoehorning him into a feud with the champion because they're just giving Rollins something to do. That's what I'm saying. I think this is how going back a little bit. This is how Edge and Cody would feel. It's just a feud thrown together.
Well, we still have to see what story they tell out of it.
Yeah. I mean, we're here regardless.
Yeah. I mean, it's a quotation B-level pay-per-view. I don't see what the harm is. You know he's not going to win. Just let him go out there and put on a good match. Maybe he can elevate himself to have people care about him. Well, I guess the fans they care about him. They make noise.
Or they'll let him win and then Priest is the one that, because maybe they don't want Seth Rollins to be pinned by Priest. And Seth always says that he respects Shinsuke, so Shinsuke would get the pin, and then Priest cashes it in on Shinsuke. Book it.
It's kind of what we did with women's, though.
And who is right? Me.
I'm just saying, that's what we did with the women's. Exact thing we did.
Yeah.
Although, still to this day, again, that 1 week where they had all beat down Seth Rollins, that was his best moment to cash it in.
True.
He ain't gonna get a better moment.
But he had an agreement with Finn Balor that Finn would get his shot first. And then they would move on to plan B, which was the Money in the Bank contract.
He did, but then
and now Finn Balor wants to be a little bitch.
The week after tried to cash it in.
What's that?
I said, but then the week after he tried to cash it in.
I think they were still fussing and feuding. They were fussing and feuding, and then they came to an agreement. Like, okay, let's get back on the same page. But first, can you just give me one more shot at Seth Rollins? That's why I'm so pissed off that they're going back to because JD McGillicuddy was still there. He was just there out of nowhere. Just sulking with his slick back hair. Looking like Annie Lennox.
With his abnormally large head.
Yeah, he looks like an owl.
Like, how big can your head be?
And the eyes. Like his head. He's just staring.
And he's got this little body with this gigantic. It's like a bobblehead.
He's just wide-eyed. Just watching. Yeah. Not saying anything. Yeah, just. Anyway, that's Monday Night Raw.
That is Monday Night Raw.
Any final thoughts?
No. Like to see where we go.
Yeah.
At least there's something.
Well, now I'm kind of nervous of what they do with Cody. Ugh.
Yeah, because they said they don't have anything for him right now.
Watch him feud with like Bronson Reed or something. Oh.
Hey, thick boy can put on a feud. Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah, but he's already a joke.
He only lost one match, as I said earlier.
He lost Elimination Chamber. He lost
one-on-one match is what I'm saying.
So he's lost. He's done nothing but lose. He's done nothing but be in the mid card and yeah.
And Wade Barrett called him a planet with limbs.
That's not because he's awesome. I assure you.
A planet with
Yeah,
limbs.
I see it. I know what exactly. I was thinking of like those cartoon drawings where it's just the round
Yeah.
shape with no neck. But anyway, that's Monday Night Raw. See what happens. Moving on, we got Friday Night SmackDown, and opening up the show, it's Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, and I feel like this just happened.
Well, it kind of did at SummerSlam.
Okay, and well, yeah, I felt like the Asuka and Charlotte just had a one-on-one match, though. I don't know. So, right off the bat, we're reminded that there is a 3-man commentary booth for Friday nights. Right, hold on, just real quick. I just want to say, like, Monday Night Raw was probably like the best it's been, or that episode at least was probably the best it's been. I would say,
Yeah.
and I think the complete opposite could be said with this episode of SmackDown. Personally,
Yep.
but
Good. It was a good week.
yeah. Um, so they replayed the triple threat match with Asuka, Charlotte, and Bianca. Charlotte comes out, and they start the match, and I gotta say, her little slow little cartwheel flip things, they trigger the fuck out of me, dude. Every time I see them, I just want to hit her with a brick. I want to, I want to, as she's coming from the cartwheel and getting back upright, I want to just elbow her in the face.
Yeah, I don't know why this little new offensive wrinkle has been added in.
It's awful. They just, I don't know. So the commentators say that Charlotte's like focused, and I've never seen her this focused, and she's not even trying to bask in the WWE universe tonight. And it's like that's all she was doing. Like she'd do a she'd do a move. Wah! So I just thought that was funny. So Charlotte's about to win with the figure eight, and then Io Sky comes out with damage control. And then Asuka gets Charlotte in a roll up because she's distracted. And Charlotte kicks out, of course. And Charlotte hits a boot to Asuka, so they're both out. And then as they're both out, Io's doing a victory lap around the ring with her belt, which is great. And then Bailey is screaming, "Look at your champion! Here's your champion!" You know what? Damage Control, they might be the comeback of the year. They might, I don't know what the little category is, but.
There you go, pulling the curtain back
Nope,
again.
there you go, pulling the curtain back again. Droplets, Bray Wyatt.
Something like that.
Ow!
I forgot what it was. Comeback
Yeah,
of the year.
that. They might just do it with because as Io's doing her victory lap, Charlotte and Asuka get back into it, and then Io just says "fuck this," and she drop kicks both of them. And then in Damage Control, they just beat the shit out of Asuka and Charlotte. Now, normally I would bitch about Asuka getting shit on here, but in this context, I think it works. Especially because
Well, I was actually kind of glad that they did a finish like this because I was like, oh, here we go. Charlotte's going to bury Asuka even more. Why is this match happening? There's no reason.
I just think like Io's going to run. I like how they're doing this. Io's running so far. She's running the division like a fucking empress. She comes out, she parades her fucking jewelry, her minions do her dirty work. She looks good. Io's everything. So far, Io's everything that she should be right now. She just needs a good match. She needs to not be shit on. I'm afraid that like Bianca's going to come and just automatically win or something. She needs to have a lengthy run.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she should at least hold it to Royal Rumble, maybe Mania. But they're gonna get the title off of her before Mania, so they can have, I don't know, Charlotte Flair go into Mania with the title or whatever
If,
they're gonna do.
if they really wanted to do something, they should let her have it for 1,000 days.
I don't know if they would do that.
No, they wouldn't. I'm just saying that would be something. No, if they're going to do the 1,000 days, it'd be Ripley. But
I'm telling you, I don't see who can beat Ripley on the roster right now.
especially since she's not going to defend it.
Well, she's taking out all the competition. Literally.
All right. Well, Ripley's on Raw. We're on SmackDown. I don't know why you brought up Ripley.
You brought her up.
Yeah, I heard it both ways.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm all about Damage Control right now. They might be the best between them and Shayna and Zoe. Okay, now let's bring in the Unholy Union to wrap it all up, and we might have a women's division.
We got some makings.
So then Dakota Kai says, "Give it up for your new women's WWE champion, Io Sky." And that's it. I like it. I think it's awesome.
Yep.
So moving on, they give a tribal combat recap. Jay got screwed by Jimmy, and Roman is still our tribal chief and the universal whatever. I don't know what name it is these days. And then we get Santos Escobar backstage. The lady asks about his mindset. He is facing Austin Theory for the U.S. Championship later on this evening. And Escobar says he's confident. And then Theory attacks Escobar and slams a crate lid onto his leg. So Santos appears to be hurt. Anything to add?
Nope.
All right, moving on. We get AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross. And did you watch this?
I did.
All right. I didn't, so go ahead. And if you want to go ahead.
Well, to be honest with you, the crowd was really into this match. I mean, I don't know why. I was like, did I miss something?
No, they were a great crowd. They're Minnesota's a wrestling. That's where AWA was based out of. So
yeah, they were really into this match.
They were into a lot of shit. It was, like I said, it was a good crowd. They were cheering for a lot.
Yeah, now the one, I mean, it was a decent match between the two. There was one bad spot, if you will. There was a little botch. So you know how AJ Styles does his backflip into a reverse DDT thing?
Sure.
Well, he went to do that, and something happened where he landed on Cross. I guess Cross was supposed to catch him into a power slam or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like a reverse of that move. Cross didn't catch him. He falls backwards. AJ Styles picks him up to try to save the spot, and he goes for something to pick Cross up. And then Cross, he he basically is dead weight at this point. So the move just goes completely off the rails. That was the one takeaway. That little spot. So
Okay.
it was just a bad looking botch there. It ended with like Styles basically just dropping down.
He's like, all right, I'll go on the defense.
Yeah, and then yeah, it was just a crazy botch. Towards the end of the match, Cross hits the well, he goes for the cross hammer. AJ Styles counters on the apron, jumps Scarlett. Mia Yim, she runs
Yeah.
across the ring, pulls Scarlett down, gives her a nice little spot where she throws her through the or on the announce table. Scarlett really ate it. I think you can see up her skirt when that happened too. That's here nor there. I couldn't get the perfect freeze frame, but I think that's what
All
happened.
right.
And then AJ Styles hits the finisher, which is the phenomenal. What the hell is his move name?
Phenomenal forearm. Oh, the
No,
Styles
the Styles
Clash.
Clash. Sorry about
Yeah.
that. He hits the Styles Clash for the win on Cross, and then Styles has beat Cross
So
again.
he's 50-1.
Yes.
Oh, thank God! It seems like this feud's finally over.
Well, you would think that,
Right.
but ominously, Corey Graves said, "No one's done with Cross until Cross says they're done. He's done."
Right.
So
I would.
he kind of left the door open that this will be continuing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if next week Cross just comes out of nowhere. I said when it's over, AJ, I can come from behind.
I'm not done with you yet. But yeah, outside of the little botch, it was a pretty good match. And again, the crowd was way into it.
That's great. I just, you know, they've wrestled so many times. I just had no interest.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, we have Edge. He is in the ring. And he asks what we're all thinking. What are you doing here, Edge? Edge says it's been far too long since I've been in Calgary. And he needed an excuse to be here. And he found one. Edge wants to wrestle in a match next week. Edge wants a match against a warrior, someone who he's never faced before in Mortal Kombat. Edge wants a challenge. Edge wants to be tested. Edge wants Sheamus. And at that moment, I skip to the next segment because I have no fucking interest in Edge versus Sheamus. So you said you liked it. Tell me why. Change my mind.
So it was a friendly back and forth between the two. Edge talks about how um, when he was retired from wrestling with his triple fusion neck surgery, there was one guy who kind of lit the turn the idea on that maybe he can wrestle again. And that guy was Sheamus. Well, you see, him and Sheamus, they filmed a Celtic Warrior workout back in like 2000, I don't know, 19 or something like that. Um, which I did watch when it did like
Yeah, it was
first
awesome.
air. And yeah, he said that during that Celtic Warrior workout, they did a mountain bike ride, and there was a point where Edge wiped out on his bike, and he was all like bruised up, bloodied up from the wipeout on the bike. And Sheamus, you know, being I guess a funny guy for the camera, he said, "And this guy can't wrestle." And apparently that was the moment that Edge was like, "Wait a minute, why can't I wrestle?" So then he started training to get back into the and uh, story about Edge when he was first coming into the business. Edge was like the only person that was nice to him, and if it wasn't for Edge, he'd be working, like a regular job right now. So um, he had still not answered Edge yet, and then finally he asked the crowd, do you want to see me and Edge go 1-on-1 next week? Of course, they said yes, and then they agreed to the match, and they shake hands. Right after the handshake, Sheamus didn't let go. He pulls Edge in. And he says, "I hope you didn't make a mistake." And then that was how the segment ended. So they brought like a real life thing into it.
His YouTube channel.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was the Brawling Brutes were out there with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking it would be funny if Edge was like, "What do you say, Sheamus? What about a match?" And then Ridge Holland's like, "Well, I'll give it a go, would you? Why don't you wrestle me?"
God, no.
No, I changed my mind. I don't want to wrestle anymore.
I'd rather go play in traffic. I'd have a better shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it's too sappy. I don't like they're laughing and it's just I don't know. It was more like this is a performance and
Yeah, like I said, they're gonna have a friendly competition.
yeah, we're just gonna jump around and yeah. And Sheamus is he's kind of in the McIntyre and whoever else. I put somebody else in that category. Finn Balor. Those three.
With the accent thing.
No, it's not even the accent. It's just like Sheamus was awesome, but now like he's kind of like a little mini version of the Big Show. He's just kind of done it all. He's flip flop back and forth between heel and face that like you don't even know which one he is on which day.
Well, I think he's still a face,
I know.
right?
I
There's
mean,
definitely no.
on paper he's still a face, but like tomorrow he could play a heel. And would it make a difference?
Well, both him and McIntyre, I think, work better. When McIntyre came back and he was the Psycho Killer heel,
Mm-hmm.
or the
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 Scottish
Scottish
psychopath.
psychopath.
Yeah.
He was with Dolph Ziggler. I think that was the best version of Drew McIntyre I've seen.
You said that. I missed that. Where is
Yeah, he
Dolph
was like
Ziggler?
a.
Jesus.
I don't know.
If anybody would have a good feud with Seth Rollins, like, think about that. If he comes back.
Well, he's gatekeeper Dolph, so
Nah. Well, I
we
mean, if you're
gotta.
gonna just shoehorn somebody into a feud, I think Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, he
It'd be
could do it,
fresh.
and they put on a good match.
It wouldn't be a
But
tag match against the Judgment Day. I'll say that. And I guess they're not doing the open challenges anymore
for Seth Rollins,
for anybody. It's just
yeah.
it's kind of disappointing. That was one of the highlights. But I don't know. Too sappy. The YouTube channel thing, the laughing, and I don't know. Doesn't work for me, brother.
There you go.
So LA Knight versus Hit Row. And I know it was supposed to be flop dollar, but like all of Hit Row got their shots in. So it was basically LA Knight versus the entire team. There's nothing match. Knight fights the
Blinking, you missed
adversity.
it.
Huh?
I said blinking, you missed it.
Right. Knight fights the adversity and he hits a blunt force trauma for the win. And he says it doesn't matter if he's on Raw or SmackDown, which true. Don't matter. Good thing we got that draft. Good thing the NXT call-ups were called up. Good thing we had a draft where a strict draft that they stick to. Good thing we have a prestigious second title. It's all coming up
All good
Millhouse for the
things.
WWE. So Lashley and the Street Profits have an interesting little backstage segment, and they officially announced their allegiance or alliance or whatever. I didn't even recognize him. It was Dawkins. He goes, "Oh, I like sneaking people in suits."
This
And
is Malcolm X part.
I didn't even notice that. Like I didn't recognize him. He looked like an intimidating dude as opposed to just a guy in a sweatband with a sweatband. And the other guy, what's his name?
Montez Ford.
Montez Ford. Thank you. He's just sitting there with his sunglasses, just speaking softly like Michael Jackson. Oh, we're gonna take care of them.
Speaking of Michael, it's funny you bring him up.
Oh,
This is off the rails, but
it sure is. I can only imagine. Go ahead.
no, not going to be. It's not about Michael, but it is about Michael.
Okay.
Sammy Sosa. Have you seen him lately?
No.
You know, remember Sammy Sosa?
The corked bat guy, yeah.
Yeah. What do you remember about him physically?
He played for the Cubs, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was Cuban, wasn't he?
Yes.
Okay. He was very dark skinned.
That's what you remember about him?
He was
Good.
Cuban?
Yes. That's that is good that you remember that, because that is no longer the case.
Are you talking about the red hat?
He's joined your team now.
Oh no.
He went through the Michael Jackson treatment.
Huh.
Yeah. So, it's 2023. If you feel things, you are it now. So everybody call him White Man Sammy.
I just see the one picture though. Can we substantiate? Oh wait, never mind.
Nope, he's in.
No, yeah. Oh man, he looks like. Do you remember that? Do you remember I Love Lucy?
Yeah.
Her husband, just like in real life, like the black and white thing.
Ricky
Looks like,
Ricardo.
yeah. It's as if we're watching the TV screen in real life. Oh,
Yeah.
that's weird. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is awesome if they do it. I think you've alluded to this as well, but yeah, if they do this right, and we keep saying like they won't be able to do it, but I'm liking where this is going. This is another thing that got my nipples hard. And all they were doing was just sitting there and talking softly.
Yeah. It's good to see what they're cooking up here.
So finally, we get Escobar versus Theory. There was a nice little moment before where Escobar he's nursing his injured knee, because remember, Theory slammed his knee into that empty crate. So can he compete? And Adam Pearce comes, and Rey Mysterio is holding his hand, and he looks like he's holding back tears. And Pearce goes, "I just want to look you in the eye and ask and say, can you go? Because the medical staff, they say you're iffy." And he looks at Adam Pearce, he goes, "I can go." Escobar stands up and looks like he's about to just fall, and Rey immediately catches him. Escobar steadies himself. Rey lets him go. And he slowly starts to make his way to the ring. And then we get Escobar versus Theory. Santos is the first one to come out. He's with Rey by his... No, he's not with Rey. I'm sorry. He comes out alone. Did he come out alone?
Yep, it was just him.
Okay. Yeah, so he comes out alone, and the crowd, they're for him. He's immediately an underdog. He's going to fight through the pain, right? Everybody loves that story. So as he's walking to the ring, Austin Theory comes out of nowhere and chops him from behind.
Yeah, they kept playing that Austin Theory did not want to defend his title. He was afraid.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, he lost to Escobar, and ever since then, he's been afraid of him. Which I guess that's a nice little. At least they had a story with it, but it's a weak one. Weak sauce. Get that shit out of here, son. So Theory gets in the ring and he says, "Oh man, I really wanted to defend my belt, but it looks like Escobar is too weak." So in Theory wants the referee to come to the ring and raise his hand. And I gotta say, Theory was great because earlier in the back when um, Theory was gloating because he I think he was leaving or something, and then he runs into the LWO. He goes, "Oh man, it's too bad that Escobar's gonna be hurt." And then Ray says, "Oh, don't worry, he'll be out there." And he gets down to eye level with Rey Mysterio. He goes, "Oh, I was really concerned." It's great. Good little touches by Austin. Unfortunately, this is like the most they've done with him. It seems
That's
like
true.
once they like start doing something with these lower level champions, then that's when they uh, drop the belt. Like, oh, they're doing something interesting right now. Like Baszler and Ronda Rousey, they were having the best matches of their run, and then they do the turn. Austin Theory, he's doing shit. It's good shit too. Drops the belt.
Well, I guess to his defense or whatever, this is the first thing he's done relevant to the title.
I know.
Maybe since John Cena. So they
Was
weren't
that
doing
even a
anything with
title
him.
match? Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
it
Yeah.
was.
So yeah, so Theory wants the ref to raise his hand in victory so he can gloat. And then we find out that Mysterio takes his place. His being Escobar's place. And then the Austin Theory experiment is over because Rey Mysterio hits a 619 for the win. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Rey Mysterio dethroning Austin Theory. If anything, it should have been Escobar. I don't know if he's legit hurt or something. Or if this was like now that Rey Mysterio's medically cleared to compete, if this is where they originally were going to go with it. It just, I don't know.
Yeah, it sounds like or my two things is one, the when Ray got hurt last week, he was supposed to be the original winner. So they did this to kind of make up for it. That's option A. Option B is maybe they're trying to do a rerun because Ray got hurt. They're trying to rerun the match. Santos versus Ray. This time now it's for the title, so they can really put over that Santos is the future of the LWO or whatever. Or Santos. And this is realistically, because Santos, he's like, "You took my moment," and he turns heel, and then the LWO's no more, and then we get the you know that group back, and it's like he's upset at Ray because Ray took his moment,
What
even though he
if
was hurt, but he did take his moment.
I got a tinfoil
You,
hat one?
go ahead.
What if Dominic goes back after Rey Mysterio because now he has a belt and it ends up being like a unification match?
I was actually thinking that
Okay.
because Dominic, he did say a couple weeks ago.
He'll only be the U.S. champion.
Yes.
I'm champion of all of North America.
Yes, so they're gonna do something there, and I think it's a way to get Dom a major title, take it from his dad, even more heat, and he also did the whole, bringing the respect back to the Mysterio name.
Right.
So you could go there. I don't know what that means for NXT. Having the title unified,
The same thing it means for their team belts.
that there isn't one.
Yeah. They're not even well, they're not defended on regular TV these days. Or on
Yeah.
pay-per-views or whatever.
Well, the titles are cursed.
Yeah, they are cursed.
Yeah. So uh, they mentioned it on Raw. Sonya Deville, she tore her ACL. She'll be out 6 to 9 months to recover from that.
So they're going to figure out how to crown a new champion. Did we find out how?
No, they didn't say anything about that yet.
Okay.
That is
Presumably
definitely
it's
the curse of the title.
yeah.
Now, there is a little, I don't know, moment. I don't know what to call it. A good little moment. So, Chelsea Green, and she did this on the bump. She said, "Well, before Adam Pierce goes and strips me of my title, um, and they pull this from the bump, I want to do like Chelsea's Got Talent or something like that, and you can audition to be my replacement tag team partner." And of course, you got all these geeks throwing up their videos. Kind of went a little viral because you had so many geeks responding. You had people like James Ellsworth throwing his name out there, Mick Foley throwing his name out there, Matt Cardona. Well, that's her husband, but he threw his name out there. Kathy Kelly. So a bunch of different names, and then like just random geeks sitting in their house. I almost said so. Walmart greeters. Yeah, you got Walmart greeters sitting in their house thinking they're gonna actually be champ.
we're in the same headsets that Chad Gable's son wears.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, what are you doing with yourself that you submitting these videos?
So did
I
anybody
get it.
real throw their name in?
Uh, Not really. There was some, like, the only like realistic one was like some chick from NXT.
Okay.
Um, but it started to gain a lot of traction because a bunch of people were doing it.
I'm surprised Emma didn't say anything. Oh, we could do it.
She should. Like, you're not doing nothing. Nikki Cross, throw your
Right.
name out there.
Oh, remember when Nikki
Dewdrop.
Cross was all about the pixie?
Oh yeah, Kansas Story.
Yeah. I guess they dropped that right quick.
Well, she hadn't even been on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't want to do I don't know if we can just morally justify putting the thought of you naked in millions and millions of people's heads, Nikki. Sorry, pal.
What?
Because she's doing the obsessed thing, and knowing WWE, it's gonna get all sexual. Or knowing my
Oh.
brain.
It seems like that's where you went immediately.
Immediately, of course. Nikki showed one hint of concern. Oh, she wants to finger bang her.
I want a scissor.
Yeah. I don't even know where we were.
I don't.
Yeah. All right.
Boy, this show's off the rails today.
No,
Okay.
we're good. We're good.
Oh yeah, we were just after Escobar.
Right. Well, no, I know where we were. I forgot what we were talking about. I don't know how we got to scissoring, but anyway, Roman Reigns.
Oh, the shirt. Anyway, yeah, go ahead. Roman Reigns.
So, just real quick, how many people do you think bought those real Chief shirts?
I don't know. Probably a lot.
Think they think they feel stupid right now?
Oh, it's a moment in time. You'll always have that, I guess.
Okay. So, apparently everybody's getting hurt. Apparently Jay hurt Roman during their match. There was we didn't talk about it because I didn't think it was noteworthy at the time, but there's a moment where apparently it was. Um, Roman was on his hands and knees on the outside, and then Jay did a dive and it landed on Roman. Apparently that legit hurt him, but I don't know how because Roman did a lot of shit and he wasn't selling it at all. He didn't even look stiff.
Yeah.
So Roman gets to the ring. He asks Heyman, "Where's Jimmy at?" Heyman looks like he's about to shit himself. He's like, "I don't know. I haven't talked to him, or I haven't seen him. You haven't seen him? I haven't seen him all day. You haven't talked to him? Oh, I did talk to him this morning, but he was pretty salty." And the back of Heyman's head, like the way his hair is, it's just so hypnotic. He looks like a Star Trek character. So then Jimmy just comes out. He like just emerges from the crowd like a shadow. And he's still wearing the bandana from SummerSlam, which gives me the impression that he hasn't showered since then. Like he's just been hiding.
Probably.
So then the crowd, like they see him and they immediately just start booing, and then you hear, "Oh, you sold out! You sold out! You sold out!" And the Roman says, "Don't worry, they don't mean anything." Roman says, "You know what? I owe you, Jimmy. Name your price. Name whatever you want, and you got it. It's yours. You want a jet? It's yours. You want a boat? A yacht? Yours. You want power? Yours." And Jimmy says, "I don't want anything for you. I I didn't do it for you." And Roman's like, no, you misunderstand me. I can get you whatever you want." And eventually, Jay comes out. And immediately, Jay grabs the microphone from Jimmy and he wants to know why. That's it. Just why. Jimmy says he did it because he loves him. He says he didn't super kick him because of jealousy. It was because Jay was going to be the tribal chief. And that means Jimmy would lose Jay. Not only would the Usos split up, but Jay would go to the dark side. Look at what the tribal chief position has done to Roman. Look at how twisted he is now. That's what would happen to you. You would no longer be my brother. So Jimmy did not inherit the la family's mic skills.
I don't know. I thought it was a fine promo. He kept taking the mic away from his mouth too early, but
The
I for
spirit
that.
of the spirit of the promo was good. It's just I don't know. He ain't Jay. He ain't Roman. He ain't The Rock. He ain't Rikishi. Hell, he ain't even Solo. I don't know.
I don't know. I thought it was a fine promo.
Fair enough. We'll agree to disagree, even though you're wrong. Jimmy says, "If you, so if you want to kick my face, go ahead. But I did it because I love you, and I did it to protect you." And Roman's great because Jimmy's back is to Roman, and he's looking at Jey, and he goes, "Do it, just nodding, do it. You know you wanna just kick him in the face, do it." I had a good chuckle out of that. And then Jey just doesn't say anything. Like he goes to pick up the microphone and just kind of just gives up, and then he just turns his back on Jimmy. Jimmy's a little confused. So then he's like, okay. So he gets back in Jay's face again, and Jey just turns his back on Jimmy again. And then Jimmy, he sold it beautifully. Like you could just see the pain like in his body, just that slump, and he just leaves. Anything to add?
No.
Okay.
That wasn't the end of it, though.
No.
Oh, you're just waiting for me to jump in?
I was just seeing if you had anything to add thus far.
Oh, no. Nothing there.
Okay. There's a lot to unpack there. Or a lot that I just went through. All right. So Roman immediately starts taunting Jey. And he goes, "Now I want you to acknowledge me. That's what this is all about. You just don't get it. Acknowledge." And then Jey super kicks him. And then immediately Solo is on Jey. Solo goes for the spike, but Jey counters with the super kick, which is just like, that's his thing. It seems to be like, I don't know. He gets him in the spike, but then he twists out of it. I don't think there's a good way to counter the spike. I think you just need to take it. I think no matter what, the spike needs to be in a position where you just get it. Otherwise, it just looks goofy and unnatural. It's just my 2 cents.
Well, he didn't get the swing off yet.
Still, it's just, I don't know. He's countered it the same way, like at least 5 or 6 times. You think Solo would get it by now, or at least like hold on to his jacket. Like, oh no, you ain't twisting out of this one. Like eventually Solo starts looking stupid.
Yeah, I could say that.
So Solo gets the super kick, and then Roman spears Jey. Or I'm sorry, Superman punches Jey. I don't know if he cocked his arm or not. And then Roman tries to go for the spear, but Jey super kicks Roman out of the spear. And then Roman's writhing in pain. Solo's writhing in pain. Heyman's just looking shocked. And then Jey goes, hey, Jimmy, wait up. Whoa, Jimmy, wait up. And Jimmy, you can kind of see him in the background because I kind of noticed he's just slowly just walking up unnaturally, to the entrance, like somebody stalling for time.
Yeah, that was a slow walk.
Yeah. But eventually Jimmy's at the at the entrance, and he turns around, and Jay's like, whoa, Jimmy, hold up. And Jey gets out of the ring, and Jimmy, you can see like the joy in his face, right? So then he starts like, kind of power walking up to Jey, and they kind of, he stops in front of him, and they share a little look, and Jimmy goes to hug him, and then Jey super kicks him. And it was the funniest fucking shit ever.
Yeah, you thought, it's just gonna be brotherly love. He's gonna forgive him. He's his brother, and then wham.
Yeah. It didn't even break stride. Just pa-pow. So Jimmy's down, Roman's down, Solo's down, Heyman's gaining. And Jey grabs a microphone and he goes, I'm out. I'm out of the bloodline. I'm out of the SmackDown. I'm out of the WWE. Mic drop. And he leaves through the crowd. And I believe they've actually moved Jay's profile on the website to the alumni section. So they're committed to Jay being quote unquote resigned.
Yeah. And I took the liberty of throwing out the graphic that Jey Uso is all elite. I had to take time to dig on that. I was
Very nice.
surprised I didn't get a lot of hate on that graphic.
Yeah.
So now I thought, oh, you're such an idiot. You know, they are on Twitter. Like, how dare you say Jay's going to AEW?
Oh, I
But
don't even pay attention. That's Twitter.
well,
I pay attention to real life.
the Twitter geeks
Unless
are
it's our listeners. The hundreds and hundreds of listeners.
there. You go.
But
But
that's SmackDown.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. There was a little report that they're, and I quote the exact little article that came out was, there's a creative force. That's the word, creative force in WWE that wants this match, Jimmy versus Jay, to take place at WrestleMania. So they're kind of dragged this out to WrestleMania. So Jay quitting is their way, if that article is true. Now I did say, unless that creative force is Vince McMahon, it doesn't matter what that creative force wants. But if it is true, that article, then there you go. That's how you get it to WrestleMania. You just have Jay literally off the show until WrestleMania.
I guess, but I think I read the same thing, but my report said that the majority of creative thinks that, was it 35 weeks, 65 weeks, something like that?
35 weeks.
Yeah, that's a long time to stretch that out.
Right. So you literally have one off the show until then. Maybe
Yeah.
you probably have Jimmy off too.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess if you're going to do it,
So
because you don't want to drag this out, what are they going to do? They're going to do a Monday Night Raw and just have main events and different tag team matches every week?
maybe
6-man tag every week.
Sammy needs a partner. And Chelsea Green needs a partner. Yeah.
There you go. And we'll see what they do there. We'll see what they do with Chelsea Green and her title. Because
We'll see if it works.
yeah, well, maybe they don't even bring that to TV. Maybe they just like let that die. Oh no, you're getting stripped. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. She's trying. She thinks she's Zack Ryder.
Yeah. I mean, I could see, just to touch back on that, because she has the Karen gimmick, so I can see her complaining her way to uh, Adam Pierce, and he's like, "Fine, whatever. You wanted to have a new tag team partner, whatever. Like, just give into it." But we will see. And if you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Again, we're on our way to 500 subscribers, so if you can help us get there, the goal is payback, guys. Payback. We're trying to get to the 500 subscriber mark. Let's get it done. And the only way we can get it done is with you, and by pushing that button. Follow us on all of the social medias. And if you're on audio, listen on Spotify. And anything else?
And if you don't subscribe to us, let us know why. Tell us what we can do better.
No, I don't want that.
No, you don't want
I don't want to
constructive
open my
criticism.
no.
All right, 86. That just
There's something wrong with you if you don't like
okay.
it.
Fair enough.
No, you can give us criticism, whatever. Just don't, you come stupid, and you will get checked back. I'll tell you that.
Well, now you're opening yourself up. If you come in stupid, you just get ignored. You come in with constructive criticism, then obviously that's what we're looking for. So there you go. You know, if you're going to be a dick, as someone that leaves dick comments, I know.
As the leading authority in leaving.
Oh no, I'm not a leading authority by any stretch of the imagination. No.
Oh,
Absolutely not. I would be like a purple belt.
it's pretty high.
Oh, is it? I would be a brown belt.
That's high too.
Oh. What's the lower belts?
You got white and yellow.
Yellow belt. I'd be a yellow belt.
Okay. Well, there you go. But anyway, all that being said, until next time, top guy.